Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbled.
Or the way the port stopped working.
We're heading to the hospital to find out if my port is viable or a goner. That's the medical term for it, a goner. So anyway, we were just discussing. I was like, I wonder if they're going to let you come in the room. I have no idea. The last port study I did,
turn left onto Highway 55.
I was there alone just because Peter was taking care of Elijah, and the one before that was many years ago, and he was in the room. You were in the room for the fluoroscopy, at Children's.
Oh, at Children's, yeah.
Anyway, I have no idea what this is going to be like. I was telling him that the last one I was at, which is a different hospital, different location, the same hospital, was like an OR.
In 1.9 miles, take a slight right turn to merge onto Durham Freeway.
But I don't know, this is a different location, so I'm pretty nervous. Anytime someone else accesses my port, it makes me feel like this, like I'm gonna they're shoving it in way farther than they need to, because they don't know everybody's port, of course. Like, everybody's port is at a different depth. Peter knows my port. Yeah. He doesn't push too hard.
Like, I can't imagine accessing anybody else's port. Like, even when you got this new one, like, there's like this, how hard do I push and all of that.
How much pressure does it take to get through the, what do they call it? The
membrane?
The membrane, or whatever, the, like, solid chunk of rubber.
Yeah.
And then before you hit the metal backing, like, how hard do you have to press? How quick do you have to press?
This one's all plastic, but...
Well, maybe that'll make my brain feel better, that even if they scratch the back, it won't feel like metal. Because, like, if your needle scratches the back of your port, like, inside of you, it feels like chalkboard nails inside of you.
Mile, take a slight right turn
so,
to merge onto
I'm not
freeway.
looking forward to that. I think one time I saw a nurse access my sister's port in the hospital setting, and she pushed way hard, and that, like, image never leaves my mind. So I'm like, oh, it makes me, like, go backwards, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's gonna be totally fine. At least I'm not in the car crying alone like a few weeks ago when I had a port issue.
I think it's super helpful that we have a plan if it doesn't work.
Yes, you are spot on.
Like, if there wasn't a plan, if it doesn't work, it would just be like,
oh,
this
my
better
goodness.
work. You know?
I'm honestly, like, after... This thing has been trouble since day one with the needle dislodging, infiltrating. I don't think my port ever infiltrate, like, is it? I'm pretty sure it's called infiltrating even in a port setting when the needle is dislodged or out of place and the fluid's not going where it's supposed to.
Right.
Do we have to get over?
Yeah. I mean,
why is
technically
this not
that's a turn
directions?
light. I turned it off because I know where I'm going.
Oh. Anyway, I don't think my first port ever infiltrated, and then this one, if I move my arm incorrectly, if I reach for the salt across the table, the needle can pop out of place.
Well,
so
yeah, and it's just in a place where it can move. So
like my arm muscle.
Yeah.
Anyway, this port has been trouble since day one, is what I'm saying. I bet there's like a compilation from the last 6.5 years of me saying, this port has been trouble since day one. Okay, so the phone ran out of storage. Don't ask, it's fine. We're moving on with our life. So, good news, guys.
Good news.
Whoo! Before we go to the hospital, we just stopped at somewhere called Early Bird Donuts, and good news.
It was really good.
The donut
was fresh, like hot.
It was warm. It was incredible.
It was a Boston cream, and it like was surprising. I've gone here a couple of times. I've never gotten fresh. I think they make them fresh every morning, but this one was like warm. But the problem with a warm donut, it was,
it's just a different experience.
I hate to say it's a problem, but it's a heavier feeling because it feels greasier.
Right. But very good. Yeah. And because I'm not going to
I talked her into eating a donut.
Yeah, he did. I don't need to be NPO because I'm not doing surgery here. I forgot to say this, but when Peter was like, it's good because we have a plan. The plan is that I already have a surgeon. Oh wait, maybe I did say that.
I don't know.
And we already have surgery dates or OR time, which we will nail down in 1 hour when we know if this is going to work or not. So, oh, watch out, Peter. Oh. Okay.
Somebody's on edge.
You legitimately almost hit that truck.
You thought I was gonna hit the truck.
You were reaching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the good news is incredible donut experience. Next up, go get stabbed in the chest.
Ooh.
Honestly, probably multiple of times. That's my guess. Because they're probably going to be like, oh, I don't know if that went in the right spot. It's not working.
We'll go right. Oh.
Do you know what?
What?
Babe?
What?
One weird thing about the port this week.
Yeah.
When I would try to flush it, I don't know how to explain this. The port was like moving. I feel like there's some sort of toy where you squeeze this thing and the legs go up or whatever. Like,
Okay, yeah, probably. Yeah, okay. That's what it felt like?
That's what it felt like.
Interesting. So, I wonder what that is. Is it...
That's what I want to
Maybe there is, like, blockage in the tube, and then the tube, like,
It
pressure?
won't let it.
I don't know.
Yeah, so we're gonna go find out. So far, we've been waiting for like an hour and a half.
Yep.
And nothing's happening yet. So we're just getting some air.
Some fresh air in the hallways. They said they call us when it's time.
Yeah, like on the phone. Okay, this is
going well.
great.
Okay, hospital fashion show at lunch. Because it's actually lunchtime and we were supposed to be here for breakfast time. Very cool. I wish there was a way we could have clarified, like, we just need to, like, we aren't...
Imaging.
Yeah, because they're, like, prepping for...
A literal port removal and placement.
Yeah, so...
But, I mean, it doesn't really affect them. They had to have the room clean anyway. And then it'll just mean that the next patient can go in faster because I'm not taking up the time.
True. I'm guessing their schedule's all messed up because...
Whatever happened before.
Yeah, 2 hours. So, hopefully this doesn't take too long because we gotta get home to our babies.
Yeah. I'm ready to be done.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, we're still back in this private room, not in the operating room area or anything, but the nurse just tried accessing and it did the exact same thing. Absolutely nothing. Which actually that is different than 4 days ago. 4 days ago, right when Peter accessed it, I was able to get saline in.
Yeah.
But then when I pulled back...
Yeah, so it's in the same condition as when we de-accessed you last time.
Oh, man. So, I don't know. I don't know yet. She's going to go talk to IR. It sounds like if we can't get contrast in it, they can still take an image to at least verify that the needle is in the right place. It feels like it is. But, yeah. She did the dressing up and down, which is different than we do. And it actually, like, kind of confirmed to me that I don't want a port placement so high. Because I'm like processing in my mind, do I want it down here where my old one was, or I think down in the middle is where I'm gonna like it the best. At least that's where it worked for me the first 10 years of Port World.
Yeah.
But, this is just the, like this and going to the dentist and dealing with car stuff, car repairs and that sort of stuff. All that stuff is just like, get through this life. It's like earthly junk you just have to get through. But there's much more important things that I just have to tell myself, like, you gotta do this so that you can go do the things that give you life, that you love, like caring for your children and that sort of thing. So I just gotta get through this. Oh, and update, she did a great job on my port, like the access. And I was able to sit up, which helps me not feel like it's getting into me. And I don't think I even felt it. She did good. Okay, I feel a little shaky, just like that like atmosphere is really intense. It's basically an OR, it's IR, but they have to have it sterile because they do surgical procedures. And anyway, so it's an intense environment, and they were setting me up as if they were going to do surgery, basically, you know, removal and place a new one and all this. And that was like, my brain was like, no, we're not doing that today. It's okay. But I'm like, why are you bringing all of those sterile things in here? It didn't work, guys. I had like this little glimpse of hope that it was gonna work, but it didn't. So I am waiting to hear back again from my surgeon. If that date, it's like 2 weeks away, I think. 2.5 weeks maybe. But oh my goodness, I'm fighting the feeling of like, did I just waste?
It's okay, we had to do that.
I know. Oh, that I don't know, that they accessed it twice and it was bleeding quite a lot. The person who de-accessed it just ripped the needle out, didn't like brace the port. I don't know if that made it bleed more. But she was also pushing really, really hard. Like, I literally was like, oh, and she was like, what? And I was like, oh, it just feels like it's gonna go through. And she's like, it's not. It's like, I know, but it feels that way. Like, that's what it feels like. Anyway.
Was it a surgeon?
I'm not sure. No, it was more like a surgeon. I'm not sure exactly what their title is in IR. I would call them surgeons because that's the person who would cut me open and take this out
it's
and
like
put
an
it.
interventional radiologist.
Radiologist,
Okay.
right? Who does surgical procedures, I guess.
Right.
But anyway, I am at this point, honestly, because it was like such an open-ended decision. What's going to happen with my port the last 18 months?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I know what's going to happen with my port.
Yeah.
I just hope we can get it and make another Christmas ornament out of it. That's what we did with my first one. So, oh wait, and we have
Yeah.
You have it? Okay. So, oh well, it didn't work, but this is just what we have to go get. We just have to get through it so we can go home and take care of babies. Sweet babies. So,
good job. I'm proud of you. I didn't know that was not fun.
yeah, it wasn't terrible. They were nice. There were nice people in there.
Well, it would have been a
Jokes.
lot nicer if it had been at the time it was supposed to be.
Oh, yes, hours ago.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbled.
Or the way the port stopped working. Cheers. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. I guess, you know what? I am really, really glad I didn't have to do this right before Elijah was born.
Yeah.
I know now there's 2 little ones, and so it's also not great timing, but I think my brain was too full of unknowns at the point right before Elijah was born that having to get my port replaced was so overwhelming. Also, I was being told it had to be done awake or like with light sedation.
Right.
And I was so uncomfortable with that idea. Oh my goodness, like my heart was just like, I was breathing so fast and I knew they weren't gonna do anything. Like I was just, I don't know, there's something about that environment that's unsettling. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated as I get plans nailed down, but for now, that's my update. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna go home and snuggle some babies. And as always,